Well folks, I guess this is it. It's time to summarize not just the latest, but the very last festival playlist for Horizon 5. Midnight Muscle. Yeah, you heard me right, this is the final new playlist coming to the game with still no news of Horizon 6. But even though the playlists are ending, it does still seem like Horizon 5 has a few more tricks left up its sleeve for the future, so we'll get to that and more after we quickly run through this month's events and reward cars. They just share all these screenshots in the blog post themselves now, so I'm gonna burn through this one pretty quick. We begin with the overall series rewards that give us the returning 1973 Pontiac Trans Am and AMC Javelin for 80 and 160 points respectively. Then in summer, the first of two new cars is the 2022 Dodge Challenger SRT Superstock. We're then running with one event lab this week, and we have a treasure hunt and photo challenge. And the Forzathon shop has the 65 Shelby Cobra and Mustang Boss 302. Then autumn is our final new car, the 95 Ford Mustang, which I have heard comes with two body kits, a Celine conversion kit and a Cervini's kit, alongside the standard Forza parts and a couple of Forza branded hoods. Another single event lab and another set of treasure hunts and photo challenges, and this week's shop has the Dodge Demon and Plymouth Cuda. In winter, we have another chance to pick up the Pro Stock Camaro, and then there are two event labs this week, and another treasure hunt and photo challenge. This week's shop has the 2013 Ford Mustang and Holden Tirana. And bringing us home for the final spring week of the final new playlist, we have the returning 69 Pontiac GTO. Two more event labs this week, and the collectibles challenge comes alongside our final photo challenge. The very last new Forzathon shop then has a 67 Corvette and Dodge Challenger. So there you have it. That is our final playlist with two new cars coming to the game. But as usual, there's a bit more, and we did actually hear about this last month. The start screen selector does come with this update. You can manually select between any of the 7 available start screens that Horizon 5 has had over the past few years, and happily there is also a shuffle option, so you can have it randomly pick one every time you boot up the game. Longer nights and neon decorations are also coming to the open world for this update as well. And folks, that's kind of it. So what the heck happens next? Well, I won't make you wait for it. Let's pull up the teaser image for next month. Well, this is a bit different, isn't it? Similar to the Backstage Pass car voting, we will now, as players, be able to vote on which playlist should return to Horizon 5. As you can see here, next month is between High Performance and Italian Automotive. So this means we're just going to be getting reruns of the last 40-odd playlists, but they won't be the exact same. Playground has said that the Evolving World stuff will all return alongside whatever playlist we pick, and most of the weekly events will return in the same fashion. However, some reward cars might be changed to be perhaps more appropriately themed to the playlist, and some rewards will be replaced with backstage passes, so that we still have a consistent way to get those even on playlists before the feature was added. And finally, event labs may also be updated to feature new events instead of bringing back the old ones. Now, they wrap up this blog post by saying, there's still more coming to Horizon 5 in the near future. While we're getting that ready, we hope that veteran players will enjoy this trip down memory lane. And also, we have more news about Horizon 5 coming in the future. See you soon. So, wow, lots to absorb here. You know, I've been talking for a good while now about how Horizon 5 is obviously winding down, but I really expected it to go out with, I guess, more of a bang than a whimper. I feel like this is sort of a random playlist to end on, and again, it's just strange giving all these very clear signs that Horizon 5 is reaching the end of its life without yet announcing the next game. It's also odd that they ended the update live streams just like 2 updates ago. I mean, why not just do those right up until the end if it was only going to be 2 more updates anyway? And again, I just feel like it would have been much more fitting to have a bigger, more themed final send-off playlist. But this is sort of very uncharted territory when it comes to the standard Forza life cycle, which I guess has kind of been thrown out the window the past few years anyway. From those last few bits of the blog post, they're definitely still teasing some future content updates, but don't give us much at all to go on. I can say that I've always been expecting something similar to Horizon 4, where we got some pretty major features late into the game that ended up being essentially test features for Horizon 5. Things like the Blueprint Builder and Super 7 came very late into Horizon 4's life, but at that point, the game was still being actively updated with new playlists, and there wasn't really any major indication yet that the game was slowing down or being pushed aside for Horizon 5. So maybe we'll get some big new features over the next few months or so, but it really does raise the question of when Horizon 6 is coming. Historically, Forza games have always been announced in the summer, kind of around E3 season, and then released that same fall. The new Motorsport was the very first game to break that trend, being first announced in a kind of random live stream, I think late 2019 or early 2020, and then obviously with COVID and everything, getting pushed back and eventually not releasing until last year. We used to always have yearly releases as well. From about 2010 to 2020, we would have Motorsport one year and then Horizon the next, and that would repeat. Each game took 2 years, but of course ever since Horizon 4 that has not been the case. So I feel like we kind of have to throw all the established history out the window, because it's just a different industry now and timescales are getting longer and announcement windows are changing. So I think personally, my guess is that we will see an announcement about Horizon 6 this summer, around, whatever you want to call it, post E3 time. But will we get it this year? That's tough to say. My safe bet has always been 2026, but I figured they would squeeze more life out of Horizon 5 up until that time, and that certainly doesn't seem to be happening. So maybe they really are planning to drop the next Horizon game at the end of this year. That said, I don't want to just ramble on and speculate too much without really any sort of meaningful evidence, so that is gonna do it for today's update summary. Thank you all for watching, and I guess I won't see you in the next one.